got together, their little buddies. And one of them, he says, well, how is it grandson of yours doing in school? Oh, he says, great. He says, he's starting to be an astronaut. Oh, really? Yeah. He says, I stopped by the school the other day and I asked the teacher, I says, how's that grandson of mine doing in school? She says, well, he's taking up space.
Okay.
There's a lot of kids that take up space.
Thank you.
I didn't get them put out because we ran into big problems.
Oh, sure, I'll take one. Thank you.
There's lots of room.
Did they change daylight saving time to the 8th? Can't keep up with it. And I look at my watch and the battery's dead in the
Well, good evening
Good evening.
and welcome to worship here at Our Saviour's. We want to welcome our live stream and video playback audiences. Glad to have you with. So, the upgraded sound system is in place, but I'm having to learn a new pattern, which is I can mute and unmute my mic. So if the audio gets funky, it's because I forgot to unmute my mic. And you're hearing the room mic pick me up from a distance, which makes it sound funny. So people noticed that last week because I got to learn and remember to turn it back on when I turn it off. So bear with me until I get that practice down. A few of the announcements I'd like to highlight before we get going is the bulletin sponsor for this week is in loving memory of Donald Stracy by his family. The Webster Foundation gave out 2 different grants to our church, one for the meal plan. We got $3,000 from Webster Foundation for the Share Table Community Meal. And then our missions committee was able to get a $1,000 grant to help with, to cover the cost of all the boxes of pill bottles we ship. So those get expensive pretty quick. But keep bringing them in. Last year we sent away over 5,000 bottles, and they get either sanitized or melted down and reformed and sent to be used with people in countries that can't get pill bottles and need medications, so that they can safely get them in a container that can be distributed and used. So it helps out people in need. So thank you for that. And thank you to Webster's Foundation for the 2 grants. Midweek Lenten services start Wednesday, March 5th in the sanctuary. So for 6 weeks, we'll have a midweek Lenten service in the sanctuary. It'll be about a 40-minute service, except Ash Wednesday will be a little bit longer. The normal Thursday will happen, and it'll be a normal Thursday like Sunday. But we're adding in the special Lenten one at 6:30 in the sanctuary. Also, the flower sign-up sheet is in the bulletins and around the church. So if you want to sign up flowers for Easter, take a look at that information. The mission food collection has been updated for March, so take a look at that. Thank you for all those who brought in canned goods and stuff for Super Bowl Sunday. It was all taken to the 2 food pantries here in town. Missions Committee is starting a new collection. There's information in the bulletin about it. We're in talks with the liaison officer and the social workers at the school of needs they have on a regular basis to help out children in the school and youth in the school. So there's a list of collectible items in there, such as deodorant and things like that. So do take a look at that list. There's a collection box in East Narthax if you can bring stuff in. That is awesome. And then we decided to do something for Ripon for Lent, and that is there is a program that comes to the high schools through United Way and the Fond du Lac Food Pantry, and they provide a bag of some basic foods to about 80 kids in grade school and middle school every Friday, who are kids who may not have access to food over the weekend. So they're given a bag of food to make sure that they have enough food to get them to the next week. And that's a costly endeavor. They have 3 groups who are cornerstones in it, but they need a 4th, and our missions committee said we want to be that. So our goal to cover 1/4 of the need for the year is $2,500, and so we're asking if you collect or set aside and discipline setting aside any money for the season of Lent, please set it aside, bring it in, and we're going to put it toward that and try and hit the goal of $2,500. And we want to become the long-term 4th partner for this program year over year, just to make sure our kids in our public schools don't have to go through a weekend without food. So that will be our goal for Lent. So instead of having little boxes or coin things, we've got envelopes throughout the church specifically for that. Put any money in it, mark it, and we're going to try and hit the $2,500 and make sure that those kids get that food every weekend. So, and that's all the announcements I wanted to highlight. There are more there, so do take your time to look, and it'll be projected, but there is a communion litany in this worship folder as well. I would invite all who are able to please rise for our call to worship. The call of the Holy One has brought us together. We have been called to pray and to praise. We are called to worship and to holy wonder. May the light of love burn brightly in us. May it transfigure and transform our hearts and minds. May it become a beacon of hope for others. Let us join together in a mighty fortress is our God. us join together in the prayer of invocation. God of mountaintops and valleys and everywhere in between, we thank you for meeting us where we are. We thank you also for leading us to this place of prayer and renewal. Enlighten our minds, radiate our hearts, and ready us for your alive word of love. Let it shine in and through us, lightening a path of grace, hope, and joy. May the same transfiguring power show forth in Jesus Christ.